Do you give up? Ropes! Sadie! She got the ropes. Hands out of the hair. One! Two! Fuck her up, Sadie! Fuck her up! Fuck her up, Sadie! Fuck her up! Fuck her up!
Winner of this match by pinfall and thereby
and that was Sadie Gibbs versus Kellyanne. Thank you again to Sadie for giving me the permission to share the video and to broadcast it here on Open Mic Wrestling Night. Give fans a chance to see what you and Kellyanne are about. And you could obviously go find them on social media all over the place. Yeah, and again, that's something I'd like to try and do. I want to try and do and to feature more on the what the hell is it called on the show. This way, then you get to see other talents that are out there and everything else of the sort. So hopefully we'll have more of those to share with you in the coming weeks ahead. So I'll be working on hopefully getting some more coming up. Again, I could be that guy and just rip it off of YouTube and be like, oh, hey, you know, here's the match, and then someone's like, well, I didn't give you permission to share it, although it's available for millions of people on YouTube. But I still like to try and go about things the right way. So that's the one of the things I've always advocated for is women's wrestling. The other thing I've always advocated for is tag team wrestling, and I think the best chance tag team wrestling has right now to hopefully have some sort of revival, no pun intended, is the Crockett Cup coming up in 2019. There is no date set ahead for the Crockett Cup, and but I wanted to ask you, the fans, and again, if you want, there's the number down there, 605-562-0444. Follow the show ID and pin options when it becomes available to you. When you call in to punch it in and to come in and talk wrestling, and if you're listening live on Twitch, you could comment on there as well. So I just threw it out there as a question for people. Hey, what would you, who would be on your wish list? I only got a couple responses. The other one's just like, eh. Let me share one from Jer Polk, who was the host of the Carolina Corner, and now, and he was an Indie Power Rankings voter. And he said the Dawson Brothers, the Heat Seekers, Southside Films, and High Profile. Okay. Hopefully, if anybody from the NWA is listening, maybe give these teams a look. Trying to maybe see if there has been another response in the time that I had been on break. Let's see. No, I haven't gotten anything else yet. So let me then go down the line with a couple of people a couple of teams that I would like to see on my wish list for the Crockett Cup 2019. Now, let's have a little fun with this, right? Remember back in the day in TNA, you had some really great tag teams out there. You had Triple X with Elite Skipper and Christopher Daniels, and you had them. You had America's Most Wanted of Chris Harris and James Storm. You had the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. I don't know what Andy Douglas is doing anymore in wrestling. I don't know if he's still working, but I know Chase Stevens is. I would like to see the Naturals, if they're both still working, to make an appearance at the Crockett Cup. I would also like to see James Storm be a part of it, as a lot of his career was defined as a tag team wrestler, whether it be with Bobby Roode as Beer Money, whether it be with obviously Chris Harris in America's Most Wanted. So I would really like to see him involved with somebody somehow on some capacity. Who would his tag partner be? Because I'm almost 100% positive that Chris Harris is no longer a wrestler. I don't even know who a good tag team partner for him would be. Then you also have, obviously guests coming on the show, the Gold Standard. They wouldn't be a bad choice, obviously, to be a part of the Crockett Cup. That would actually be, for my opinion, a very welcomed addition to the Crockett Cup. I also believe that, and here's another good one. Right now, Davey Boy Smith Jr. has been working as a member of the Hart Foundation, the new Hart Foundation, with Brian Pillman Jr. and with Teddy Hart. Now, how can you maximize this here? Davey Boy Smith Jr. also was a part of the tag team, and I don't know if I believe he's just mainly doing the Hart Foundation stuff right now, but have him do the Killer Elite Squad with Lance Hoyt or Lance Archer. I don't know what he's going by anymore in New Japan. I'm not familiar. I'm sorry. But you could have them go in. You could have Teddy Hart and Brian Pillman Jr. go as the Hart Foundation. Maybe set up something where they both wrestle each other in the Crockett Cup somehow. I think that would be really good. It's also been teased. Yeah, Bellas, you're funny. It's also been teased. It seems like the Revival are looking to get out. Because you look, I mean, I don't read into this too much, but obviously they're teasing with the Young Bucks of like, hey, the Revival versus the Young Bucks are going to happen. Remember this tweet. Well, it looks like the Bucks will be a part of the All Elite Wrestling, but wouldn't that be something, having the Revival? I don't know what their contract status is like, especially since they got moved up. Imagine if the Revival are around in the Crockett Cup, which would make sense as to how they go about their business and how they work. I would also like to see obviously if the Bucks were available. I don't know what the contract status of the Best Friends are. That would be a good team to have. I mean, for me, I would like to see them as a tag team in the Crockett Cup. Obviously, I'm trying to think of other really, good tag teams that that would be something that I would like to see. I mean, there's so many out there, and this is kind of where I'm getting at too. I would really like to see different teams, and that's what I got though when the NWA did their event on NWA 70. See different talents that I wouldn't normally see or haven't gotten a chance to see if I didn't tune into this event, like Paro, big guy. They made a big emphasis on him being an openly gay wrestler, but I mean, he's a very big dude, and I would like to see more of him in other companies. Sam Shaw, which we saw a little bit in Impact, but now he's doing big things outside of Impact. I'm trying to think of the name of the team. Let's see. I mean, Jay Bradley was another name. Let's take a look here. Yeah, then you obviously know Jax Dane and Crimson are going to be a part of this. I wouldn't even be surprised if they did the team that they wrestled against, Shannon Moore and Crazy Steve. I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if they had Tim Storm involved somehow. Maybe they can think of something creative, have Tim Storm and James Storm tag together. See, how does this make any sense? You have PCO and Brody King going one-on-one for MLW, where they're now a member of the same team as in Ring of Honor. Sorry, just a little distracted. But that wouldn't even be... Again, they're probably exclusive contracts with Ring of Honor, PCO and Brody King, the Villain Enterprises. I have my wish list of teams. Obviously I just talked about it. Who knows who else would be available? Maybe you could have makeshift teams of like bigger stars. Again, single stars like James Storm right now and Tim Storm. actually, and I don't even know. Again, I don't know if Alex Shelley's still working the Indies.